For most of human history, wolves were creatures of fear. If you were a human living 40,000 years ago, hearing wolves howl in the darkness was not comforting. It was a warning. You were small, vulnerable, and surrounded by predators capable of tracking your scent across vast distances. Wolves hunted in coordinated packs. They possessed powerful jaws, incredible stamina, and eyes far better adapted to the night than yours could ever be. And yet, somehow, out of all the animals humans encountered, wolves became our closest companions. Not horses, not cows, not even our fellow primates. Wolves today, more than 800 million dogs live on Earth. They sleep in our beds, guard our homes, detect explosives, herd livestock, rescue people trapped beneath avalanches, and sometimes sit beside birthday cakes wearing tiny party hats. But dogs were never intentionally created. No ancient tribe gathered around a fire and decided, let's invent a fluffy animal that loves playing fetch. Dogs emerged almost by accident. And the strangest possibility of all is that wolves may have started domesticating themselves long before humans understood what was happening. To understand this incredible transformation, we need to travel back to the Ice Age roughly 20 to 40 years ago. Humans were hunter-gatherers then. Small groups of perhaps 20 to 50 individuals wandered enormous landscapes in search of food. Life was brutally difficult. Most hunts failed. Harsh winters claimed lives regularly. A broken leg could become a death sentence. And beyond the glow of every campfire, wolves waited. Here is the crucial detail. Humans are messy eaters. Even during periods of scarcity, hunter-gatherers left behind bones, scraps, hides, and partially eaten carcasses. To a wolf, a human campsite was essentially a moving buffet of free calories. At first, wolves likely approached with extreme caution. The bold ones ventured closer. The aggressive ones were driven away or killed. The most fearful stayed distant and gained nothing. But among those wolf populations, some individuals were different. They were less aggressive, less fearful, and more curious. Modern genetics suggests that certain wolves may simply have been born more tolerant of human presence. Over generations, these wolves gained an advantage. Rather than risking injury hunting dangerous prey, they could follow humans and feed on leftovers around camp. Slowly, evolution began sorting wolves according to personality. The friendlier wolves found more food. The calmer wolves stayed nearer to people. The highly aggressive wolves disappeared from the equation. And eventually, these behavioral changes began affecting their appearance as well. As strange as that sounds, scientists have observed something remarkably similar in modern times. In 1959, a Soviet geneticist named Dmitri Belyaev launched an experiment in Siberia using foxes. His goal was simple: understand domestication. Every generation, he selected only the tamest foxes for breeding. He didn't train them. He didn't teach them tricks. He simply bred the least aggressive individuals over and over again. Within a few decades, the foxes started behaving like dogs. They wagged their tails, sought human attention, and eagerly interacted with people. But something even more surprising happened. Their bodies changed too. Their ears became floppy. Their snouts grew shorter. White patches appeared in their fur. Their tails curled. Scientists discovered that when animals become less aggressive, physical traits often change alongside behavior. Across many domesticated species, softer faces, smaller jaws, patchier coats, and floppy ears appear again and again. The earliest proto-dogs may have started looking less intimidating long before humans intentionally bred them. Imagine standing beside an Ice Age campfire and noticing wolves nearby that seemed slightly smaller, slightly calmer, and slightly less threatening than ordinary wolves. Not pets, but not entirely wild anymore either. And this process probably wasn't happening in only one location. Humans and wolves may have been forming partnerships across vast regions of the ancient world at roughly the same time. For thousands of years, this transformation happened quietly. No one realized they were witnessing one of the most important evolutionary events in human history. Humans likely recognized the benefits quickly. Wolves could hear danger before humans did. They could smell predators from extraordinary distances. They tracked prey far more effectively than humans ever could. A wolf lingering near camp functioned as a living alarm system. If a bear approached, the wolves reacted first. If strangers appeared, the wolves noticed. If prey animals were nearby, wolves often detected them long before people could. Once both species began helping one another survive, the relationship accelerated dramatically. This is why dogs are considered humanity's first domesticated animal. Earlier than sheep, earlier than goats, earlier even than farming itself. And when agriculture eventually emerged, dogs adapted once again to remain by our side. As humans began eating more grains and cultivated foods, Dogs gradually evolved the ability to digest starch much more efficiently than wolves. Think about how remarkable that is. Dogs were already living alongside us before writing existed, before cities, before metal tools, before the pyramids. Over thousands of generations, humans and dogs began shaping one another emotionally as well. When humans gaze into a dog's eyes, both species release oxytocin, the same hormone strongly associated with bonding between parents and children. Wolves don't naturally do this with humans. Dogs do. Your Labrador staring lovingly into your eyes isn't random behavior. Evolution has carefully shaped dogs to connect with the human mind. Dogs even developed facial expressions that humans instinctively respond to. Those famous puppy dog eyes may have become more common because humans were more likely to protect and care for dogs that appeared emotionally expressive. Some anthropologists believe dogs improved hunting success so dramatically that human groups with dogs simply outcompeted groups without them. In a very real sense, dogs may have helped humans spread across the globe. But domestication came with a price. Dogs lost much of what made wolves wild. Many modern breeds suffer health problems caused by selective breeding. Pugs often struggle to breathe. Dachshunds commonly experience spinal issues. Bulldogs sometimes cannot even give birth naturally without assistance. Yet traces of the wolf still remain. When dogs circle before lying down, they may be repeating an ancient behavior once used by wolves to flatten grass. When they howl, bury food, or twitch in their sleep, instincts from thousands of years ago are still surfacing. Inside every Chihuahua and every Husky lives the distant shadow of an Ice Age predator. Perhaps that is why dogs feel different from every other domesticated animal. Cats coexist with humans. Cows tolerate humans. Horses work alongside humans. But dogs joined humans. They slept beside us while predators lurked beyond the firelight. They crossed frozen landscapes with us. They guarded sleeping camps. They followed us through storms, migrations, wars, and into entirely new continents. And somewhere along that journey, the relationship became more than a survival strategy. In Germany, archaeologists discovered a grave dating back roughly 1400 years. Inside were the remains of a man, a woman, and a dog carefully buried together. The dog had suffered a serious illness as a puppy but survived for weeks, perhaps months afterward. That survival suggests humans intentionally cared for it. Think about that. Ice Age people struggling to survive in one of the harshest environments imaginable still devoted precious food, time, and energy to nursing a sick dog. That goes beyond usefulness. That is attachment. That is friendship, perhaps even love. For thousands of generations, humans and dogs shaped each other's survival. All because a few wolves became slightly less afraid of campfires. There was no grand invention, no master plan, just scraps beside a fire, curious animals creeping a little closer into the darkness, and evolution slowly transforming fear into one of the greatest partnerships in the history of our species. Tonight, your dog will probably curl up somewhere nearby and fall asleep without the slightest idea that this friendship began tens of thousands of years ago. But now, you do.